You know that moment when you see a bead roller on a listing, all glossy photos and promises of professional quality beads, and you think, if I just get this, I'll finally be able to finish those custom metal panels for my truck without spending a day in the shop. Then you read the fine print and realize the unit you're looking at is just the roller itself, no stand, no foot pedal, no easy way to lock it in place. That's the frustration that drives a lot of people to waste money on a piece of equipment that sits on a bench gathering dust because they didn't see the missing components until the box was opened. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this video I'm going to walk through exactly what you get with the Eastwood 20622A motorized bead roller, why that matters for everyday use, and who should actually spend the cash on it versus who would be better off looking elsewhere. First off, let's be clear about the hardware you're buying. The box contains the motorized roller head, a 1/6 horsepower reversible 120V electric motor, a 24-inch throat opening, and a 1/2-inch die set. That throat size is generous. It lets you work on sheets that are up to roughly 2 feet wide, which is a real convenience if you're dealing with larger panels like the ones you'd find on a classic hot rod or a custom motorcycle frame. The motor's 1/6 horsepower rating isn't huge, but it's enough to push through 18-gauge steel and 16-gauge aluminum without the kind of stalling you see with low-torque hobby rollers. The reversible feature lets you flip the direction of the bead with a simple switch, which can save you time when you need a mirrored profile. What you don't get in the box is the stand that holds the roller at the proper height and provides the foot pedal control most users expect. Eastwood sells that as a separate item 20622B. If you already have a sturdy workbench and a way to clamp the roller securely, you can improvise, but most first-time buyers end up buying the stand anyway. That extra cost is something you need to factor in before you hit add to cart. Now, why does that matter for real-world use? Imagine you're a hobbyist who spends a few evenings a month shaping sheet metal for a restoration project. You pull the roller out, set it on a bench, and try to brace it with a vise. Without a dedicated stand, the roller wobbles each time you press down on the foot pedal, resulting in uneven beads and a lot of frustration. The motor still runs fine, but the lack of stability translates into a longer learning curve and a higher chance of ruining a die set you just paid good money for. On the other hand, if you already have a metalworking station with a sturdy frame, maybe you own a small CNC or a welding table with a built-in clamp system, the roller can be mounted with a few bolts and you'll be ready to go without the extra stand. In that scenario, the motor's power shines. I've heard from a few forum users that the 24-inch throat lets them roll beads on a 1 by 2 foot piece of steel in one pass, which cuts down the number of setups dramatically. For anyone who frequently works with 18-gauge steel, the ability to keep a consistent bead without constantly adjusting pressure is a real time saver. Let's talk about the die set that comes with the unit. The 1/2-inch set is the standard size for most bead rolling projects, and it does a decent job of creating a moderate depth bead that adds rigidity without adding too much weight. The adjustable depth stop means you can set the roller to a specific bead height and the machine will hold that setting as you work, which is useful when you need repeatable results across multiple panels. In practice, I've seen makers use this for everything from reinforcing the door skins on a vintage car to adding decorative lines on a custom bike frame. The depth stop isn't a digital readout, just a mechanical knob, but it's surprisingly accurate once you get a feel for the tension. Now, who should actually buy this? If you are a semi-professional metal fabricator, a serious hobbyist who already has a dedicated workbench, or someone who is already planning to purchase the Eastwood stand, the roller is a solid addition to your toolkit. Its motor is strong enough to handle the gauges most small shop projects require, and the large throat opens up options that smaller rollers can't handle. The reversible motor and depth stop give you enough control to produce professional-looking beads without needing to upgrade to a full-size industrial machine. Who should skip it? If you're just starting out, have limited space, and were hoping for an all-in-one plug-and-play bead roller that sits on a tabletop, this isn't it. The need for a separate stand adds both cost and complexity, and without a stable mounting solution you'll likely spend more time fighting wobble than actually rolling beads. Also, if your primary material is thicker,